thrilling first half of the doubleheader on this Saturday afternoon on Cougar Sports TV. Second game just minutes away from tip-off here from the Lumpkin Center. Hello, everyone. Welcome back inside the Lumpkin Center on the campus of Columbus State University. Stephen Williams with you as we get set for Cougar basketball. Robert Moore's bunch coming into this one 8-6 on the season, 2-5 in conference play, badly in need of a victory after a loss on Wednesday night, 84-80 at the hands of Young Harris. It'll be the Armstrong Pirates. The opposition today, 6-8, 3-4 in Peach Belt Conference play under interim head coach Evans Davis in his first season there in Savannah. Big ball game on tap for both these squads inside the Peach Belt Conference, and earlier this afternoon, we caught up with the boss of the Cougars, Robert Moore. Cougar head coach Robert Moore with us as we get set for Armstrong on this Saturday afternoon. Coach, a road trip for you after a big win over UNC Pembroke. You go to Young Harris. Take us through that ball game from Wednesday.
I thought we just didn't make enough plays. Down the stretch, I thought we got good shots. I think Kenny Funderburg got 3 good looks. Shane got a good look inside. You know, when you're playing on somebody else's home court, I thought Young Harris made shots and we didn't. And our guys got to do a better job. We was up 10. I think we got to do a better job of executing so we don't put ourselves in that situation, especially on the road.
Kenny's been banged up, and you've been bringing him off the bench. He stays on the bench. What does he offer off the bench for you that turns into an advantage?
I think he brings in a scoring punch that sometimes you need coming off the bench, and he's been excellent in that role so far. He's a starter for us, but, you know, with RJ and BJ playing pretty well, I think this is good for him to come off the bench.
And we had earlier this season when you had D'Angelo Kirkland, who you liked as starter minutes, but you were bringing him off. Is that something that's in your style?
Oh, yeah. I think D'Angelo is a key to our basketball team, and I think now that we're into Peach Belt play, playing tougher teams, I think that D'Angelo and Shane both gives us a rebounding presence that we don't have when we go with some smaller guys.
The way this one's been going, we have to ask, what's the injury report look like going into today?
I think everybody's pretty healthy. BJ's got a finger problem right now. It's pretty much sprained, not broken. Celine will be out today just because his ankle has not healed where he can go full speed. But we're looking forward to him to come back against Georgia Southwestern.
And then Ty Harris, who's taken over the reins kind of here the last few games at point guard. What does he offer that's different from maybe what the other guys offer you?
He got a good strength where he can get to the basket. He's pretty tough with the basketball. A lot of times I just wish he'll be better at controlling the basketball in the half court. But he's getting better, and he gives us a presence on the court that a lot of teams don't have because he's just so tough.
With guys like Shane and D'Angelo and shooters like BJ and RJ and Kenny on the court, do you ask him to score much, or is he more a pass-first guy in your offense?
I think he just has to pick his spots when he can score, because Ty can score the basketball. But when you got so many guys that can score, I think he's the one that you have to look for to say, hey, he can break down the defense and get us better looks. So he's just got to pick his spots when he needs to score.
Armstrong, the last few years, a team that's been driven by Eric Miller, a guy who was one of the elite scorers in this conference. How have they filled his void of being gone?
I think they're doing it with just more guys that can score. They're just not relying on one guy to score. And they're very tough because they put a lot of pressure on the basketball and turn you over so they can create situations for themselves. So I think right now it could be a track meeting here tonight, but I just hope that we're just on the winning end of that track meet.
Would you prefer it be that way, or is that their style?
I think our guys play better in that situation, but at the same time, I think we got to learn to execute in the half court, because once you get closer to tournament time and toward February, I think more teams have got used to the press and again back in transition, so you got to execute in the half court.
Coach, you're looking forward to it. Best of luck.
All right, thanks, Steve.
It's been a struggle this year for Robert Moore's bunch. It's a team that very easily could be up around 12-2 and rolling along at the top of the Peach Belt Conference's Western Division. Instead, they've struggled to close out ball games. They've struggled down the stretch, holding on to leads, and therefore they've lost a bunch of games this season that they shouldn't have. And Robert Moore will be the first one to admit that, and you heard him in pregame say, we've let a lot of leads get away from us down the stretch. And so they'll try their hand again today against an Armstrong team that'll come in here off a victory 84-73 over a Francis Marion team that beat CSU a little over a week ago in this building. And CSU will try to get it going. And what you've done if you're Columbus State with the losses they've taken is they put themselves behind the 8 ball. They have to win every home game. They get an opportunity now, and they've got to try to win a couple of games on the road to steal their way back into the top 4 in the Peach Belt Conference so they can get into the Peach Belt Conference tournament here in March that they missed last season. As we get set for tip, let's send you over to PA announcer Brian Salito for your starting lineups.
to Columbus State University and the Frank G. Lumpkin Center for today's men's Peach Belt basketball matchup, featuring the Pirates of Armstrong Atlantic State University, who come into today's game with an overall record of 6 wins and 8 losses. They are 3-4 in conference play. And your Columbus State University Cougars, 8-6 overall, 2-5 in the Peach Belt. Let's meet today's starting lineups. First for the visiting Pirates of Armstrong Atlantic State University. The forwards, 6'6", a junior from Albany, Georgia, number 2, Carlos Brown. A 6'8" senior from Rockledge, Florida, number 11, Eric Eversley. And a 6'6" junior from Raleigh, number 32, Montel Baines. At guard, 6'3", a junior from Bennington, Vermont, number 4, Kyle Callahan. And at guard, 6'1", a senior from Miramar, Florida, number 10, Kenny Bellinger. The head coach of the Pirates is Evan Davis, assisted by Brandon Chappelle and Zach Corliss. And now, Cougar fans, let's meet and greet the starters. First and forward, 6'8", a junior from the Pensacola, number 32, Big D, D'Angelo Kirkland. The man in the middle, 6'6", a junior from Charleston, number 2, Shane Hayward. And now the guards, first a 6'2" junior from New Orleans, number 5, Ty Harris. A 6'2" freshman from Columbus, Georgia, number 23, R.J. Sessions. And a 6'4" junior from Orlando, number 4, B.J. Battle. The head coach of the Cougars is Robert Moore, assisted by Ben Hicks, Dean Sendo, and Carl Little.
Stephen Williams back here with you as we get set for tip inside the Lumpkin Center. It'll be Emmanuel Tilliscar along with Kyle Callahan, or Callanan rather, Kenny Bellinger, Eric Eversley, and Montel Baines. The 5 in the maroon jersey with the white writing and numerals and gold trim for Armstrong. For CSU, it'll be Shane Hayward, B.J. Battle, Ty Harris, R.J. Sessions, and D'Angelo Kirkland as they put another different starting lineup out on the floor. Kenny Funderburk still coming off the bench for CSU as R.J. Sessions has been playing so well of late, and Kenny had been banged up. CSU will be in the home whites, the navy numerals, the red writing, and it's game time inside the Lumpkin Center. Shane Hayward to jump it up against Eric Eversley in the center circle. CSU will be working right to left as you're looking at it. And ladies and gentlemen, we're ready to begin on Cougar Sports TV. It'll be CSU that'll control the opening tip. Ty Harris, the point guard. He has taken over the point guard duties in the last 3 games or so. Jamad Salim had been banged up as R.J. Sessions misses his first 3-point attempt, and Bellinger runs down the rebound. The quick outlet has Eversley for a 2-handed slam. Robert Moore said this could be a track meet. And CSU, so far, not a good start. A missed shot, a dunk for Armstrong, and a turnover in the backcourt. Give it back to the Pirates with a 2-0 lead. Armstrong is long. They're very athletic. They've got a lot of good bodies to put out on the floor, and they've got a lot of different guys that can score. Last year for Armstrong, it was the Eric Miller show. The all-conference performer averaged nearly 24 points a game, ran out his eligibility, so he's not there. The rest of the conference is more than glad that he is gone as that pass goes awry, and it'll be a backcourt violation for an Armstrong turnover. But with Eric Miller being gone, it has become a more balanced scoring team across the board. Emmanuel Tilliscar averaging 11 points per game. Bellinger averaging near 10. Eversley averaging 11.5. Their best scorer, Isham Benayad Sharif, coming off the bench at over 15 points per game, so it's a very balanced effort as D'Angelo Kirkland is short on the three. CSU has missed both of its attempts from downtown to start the game. This is Tilliskar to the rim, had it blocked by Hayward, who's second in the conference in doing so. That right there was block number 40 for Shane in the middle. Ty Harris, active hands, knocked the ball away from him, but he got it back. Ty taking over the reins with Jamad Salim out with the high ankle sprain. Harris to the rim, high off the glass, missed the rim. Kirkland on the follow, can't get his own shot to go down. Gets a third opportunity at the basket, and D'Angelo Kirkland has the first two for CSU. CSU without Jamad Salim today, also without Derek Spear, who has a banged-up knee, suffered that in a collision at Young Harris, so two of his 4 point guards off the floor. Backup point guard today will be a walk-on, Chevy Keaton, as the turnaround with the hook, good for Montel Baines. Good-looking move that time from the junior out of Raleigh, North Carolina. And again, backcourt pressure provided by Armstrong. CSU able to pass out of it, though. Hayward lost it for a second and then traveled. Took about 4 steps on his way to the baseline, turned it over, and it's back into the hands of the Pirates. Evans Davis in his first season at the helm there in Savannah. He had been an assistant prior to taking over. He's named him the interim coach. Jeremy Luther, the head coach, prior, resigned back in early August, and instead of, at the very beginning of the school year, doing a coaching search to find someone, they just named their top assistant, Evans Davis, the interim coach. So a tough situation Armstrong was left in when Luther resigned to take an assistant job at Division I Gardner-Webb. Tilliskar misses the three, Hayward the rebound. And Tilliskar almost snuck up from behind to knock that one away, and Robert Moore jumps on the floor and says, Ty, go get the basketball. Don't sit back there and just let it come to you. Got to go attack it. Evans Davis, though, in his first season as a head coach, 6-8. They're 3-4 in conference play so far. They've played a couple of overtime conference games as Harris missed badly on the three. CSU has to have three-point shots fall to be successful as Bellinger hits the bottom of the net from outside to make it a 7-2 game. This is an Armstrong team that plays a lot on emotion. These guys get fired up. They get into the game as Hayward has the basket and the foul. I was watching the Armstrong team in shoot-around, though. It's an emotional bunch. It's a high-energy bunch, and they play with a lot of fire and passion. Shane Hayward with the basket and the foul will head to the line as the foul goes against Montel Baines for his first. Shane averaging 8 points per game, had 17 points, a season high, and was CSU's best player, arguably, last Sunday in the overtime victory they had on this floor against UNC Pembroke. Tilliskar into the front court, over the long extended arm of Hayward, and Tilliskar with the basket, his first of the game. And again, they'll press, and again, CSU just throws it over the top of it. CSU turned it over on the first look at the press. Since then, they've been fine. R.J. Sessions, the very excitable freshman for CSU, with the floater that time. Hit off the back rim. He got it back and got it in on the second opportunity. R.J. Sessions. RJ with his first two, and then CSU slapped with a delay of game warning on D'Angelo Kirkland for slapping the ball after it came out of the net. He'll take a seat as Jermaine Morgan comes in on the interior. RJ Sessions will sit down as Kenny Funderburk hits the floor, the leading scorer for this CSU basketball team. Kenny banged his shoulder up a couple of games ago, had 2 games last weekend where he didn't play very many minutes, came off the bench, and then played big-time minutes off the bench on Wednesday night, but Robert Moore just saying as this one's going to squirt all the way into the backcourt to the other end and be touched for an over and back. Robert Moore decided that with Kenny Funderburk there's no reason to put him back in the starting lineup right now. He had 20 points off the bench on Wednesday night. R.J. Sessions and B.J. Battle, the other players in his position, are playing well as starters. So no need to mix up the way the flow is going in his offense right now. And when you can bring a guy that's going to get you 20 on any night off your bench, it offers you a lot of opportunities. And Armstrong, a team that knows the exact same thing, because Isham Binayad Sharif, their leading scorer, is the top scorer in the Peach Belt Conference that is not a full-time starter. He's only made 5 starts so far this season in their 13 games, and he's going to give you 15.5 points and 5 rebounds off the bench. So both of these teams right now taking advantage of a high scorer that does not start for them, and that's such a luxury for a team to have. Wednesday night, though, for CSU, it was much of the same. It was the same book, just a different title on Wednesday night. They were at Young Harris, led at 61-51 in the second half, had the double-digit lead, and lost 84-80. 7 times this season, CSU has led by double figures and blown the lead. They've led by double figures a lot more than that in a lot more games, but in 7 games this season, they've led by double digits and lost the lead. Most of those have come in the second half as well. They've lost 4 conference games now. 4 of the 5 conference games they've lost, they've had double-digit leads. 3 of those, they had double-digit leads in the second half. Lost to Montevallo here in overtime after leading by 16. They lost to Francis Marion after holding a double-digit lead in the second half. They lost to Young Harris with a double-digit lead. Also lost to Lander that way. Hayward, turnaround not there. B.J. Battle with a one-handed tip for the follow. Ties the game at 9 with 15:20 to go in the first half. That one off the foot of Kenny Funderburg. Keeps it with Armstrong. Subs into the game now for Armstrong. It'll be Darius Morales, a 6'9" senior out of Orlando, to man the middle, along with Isham Binayad Sharif, the leading scorer that we were talking about off the bench, wearing number 23 in maroon. They get him a shot right off the inbounds from the corner for 3, missed it, and Kenny Funderburk is going to run with a 2-on-2. Drops it off for Hayward, and Funderburk ran right over Tillitskar after he gave the pass up, and Funderburk picks up the foul. First against Kenny and first against CSU, who misses the opportunity in transition. 2 teams right now, though, at 2-5 and 3-4 in conference play, need victories. For CSU, you gotta hold serve on your home court. Tillitskar rattles home a 3 from the right wing. Second time, Armstrong has dialed one up from downtown. CSU, though, in a position now where they have to win every time they step on the floor at this place. Wins are hard to come by on the road, so you can't give them up at home, as that one was last touched by Morales, and it'll stay with CSU trailing by 3. And this will be Chevy Keaton that will come into the game now. He's played just once in the last 8 games, and today he becomes the backup point guard due to injury. Known as a pass-first guy, not a guy that's looking to score, but a lot of people close to the team say that this is the best passer they have. It's just tough because he's not an offensive threat. They have to shoot it because there's 1 on the shot clock, and I don't think CSU knew it. CSU had no awareness on that possession of where the shot clock was at after it was knocked away out of bounds. And so they don't get a shot off, and it's another turnover. Kelsey Walker, a senior from Statesboro, Georgia, off the bench, and he'll now run the point in favor of Kyle Callanan, who sits down. Armstrong by 3 in the early stages of this first half. This is Eversley, who's averaging near a double-double this season. And before he could give it up, lost his footing and called for the traveling call. Eversley averaging 11.5 points, 9.8 rebounds. So he's 0.2 rebounds away from averaging a double-double this season. He has 6 of them this year, and he ranks 3rd in the PBC in rebounds per game. B.J. Battle, the long 2. High arcing, missed left, but Shane Hayward grabs the offensive board and the stick back for Shane Hayward, who is getting better as this season goes along. Shane was not much of a scoring threat early on, but last Sunday, as Jermaine Morgan knocks this one away and out of bounds, last Sunday he had a career high 17 against UNC Pembroke, and Robert Moore told us after the game that was the guy they recruited out of junior college. That was the guy they saw when he recruited him from Middle Georgia, taking over ball games, getting after it, demanding the basketball, and scoring it when he touched it. And so they're hoping that that's what they get going forward. Tilliskar will try again from downtown, and he knocks down his second. He has 8 points, and it's a 4-point game. Shima Sabiti onto the floor as well as Chevy Keaton sets up Funderburk from the left side for the long two. So Chevy Keaton doing a good job that time setting up a teammate. We'll keep an assist total tally going on Chevy in this one. Tilliskar, a heat check, missed the three, and a foul on the rebound against Morales from behind. Chevy Keaton, a guy that they picked up as a walk-on. He's a junior from Albany, Georgia. Transferred from Chattahoochee Tech. A guy that will wow you with his dribbling abilities and his passing abilities. And so they're hoping that with a lot of scores on the floor, he can set up teammates and not have to score, because that's not his strong suit. 15-13. Kenny Funderburk, the CSU leading scorer, to the rim. Off the glass, the tough shot with contact. Kenny with 4. And that move right there shows you the shoulders feeling better, because he drove right on that right shoulder that's banged up. Pass knocked away. R.J. Sessions leading it. Sessions all the way to the rim, missed the layup. The follow goes down, but they're going to say a foul on the initial layup on the attempt by R.J. as Carlos Brown is hit with his first foul. So R.J. Sessions, the young freshman on this CSU team, the local kid from right here in Columbus. 2014 has been a very kind year so far to RJ. Prior to the Christmas break, he was averaging just 5.7 points per game. He was a role player off the bench, a spot-up shooter, and didn't do a whole lot, didn't play a ton of minutes. Since we've turned to the second semester, RJ averaging 17 points per game and has started now the last 4 as he's taken on a big role as he missed the free throw and then is hit with the lane violation to wipe it off anyway. RJ with the free throw, though, puts CSU in front, 16-15, the first time the Cougars have led as D'Angelo Kirkland hits the floor in favor of Shane Hayward. Shane had played the first 8 minutes of this one and played them well. Chevy Keaton saving the ball on the sideline of CSU. Loose on the floor, and now we're going to get a foul coming up on the scramble for the loose ball. It'll be Jermaine Morgan that's hit with the foul. The second foul committed by CSU, and with 11:53 to go, we've reached the second media timeout of the half. 16-15, CSU in front of a very high-paced action ball game here on Cougar Sports TV. Stephen Williams back here with you on Cougar Sports TV inside the Lumpkin Center in Columbus, Georgia. 16-15. Cougars in front by a point. 11:53 to go in this first half. Armstrong jumped out in front in the early stage of this ball game. But CSU has gotten better offensively as this one's worn on, as D'Angelo Kirkland deflected that one into the CSU bench. So 27 on the shot clock. As Benayad Sharif gets a look from the left side, missed the three, but Morales there for the tip follow. Darius Morales will be the tallest player on the floor whenever he's out there at 6'9", and using his height to his advantage that time. Funderburk goes between the legs. The fall away from the elbow is silky smooth for Kenny Funderburk that time. And you can see Kenny starting to feel it a little bit early. Kenny has knocked down all 3 shots he's taken. Is a guy that can score in large quantities if he's shooting the basketball well. That one last touched by Morgan. It'll stay with the Pirates with a fresh 35. Kenny is just one of those guys. There are some guys that can score and it doesn't look pretty. Kenny is a guy that when he scores, it is smooth and it looks like he is just a premier elite scorer. Brown to the rim with the left hand off the glass. Carlos Brown with his first 2. So we seesaw back and forth again. RJ Sessions in rhythm, steps into a 3. Missed it off the front rim. Brown high for the board. These two teams will grab it and run. They're not afraid to get out and make this one a fast-paced track meet. And Robert Moore saying in pregame that he thought his team thrived in those kind of situations. Brown that time was on the sideline when he made the catch, started to make the step. Heel was on the line, and it's a turnover. 5 turnovers against Armstrong, 4 so far against CSU. Chevy Keaton still running the point for CSU after taking over for Ty Harris, who's getting a rest. Armstrong settling into a 2-3 look now. Will open up the outside for the Cougars if they'd like. Swing to the outside, Keaton in the center. Bad pass. Otherwise, RJ would have had a clean look. Shot clock at 5. Keaton on the floor, way too strong on the floater. Nothing but backboard. Under 10 minutes to go now in this first half. 19-18, Armstrong in front. High energy first 10 minutes from the Lumpkin Center. Glad you're with us here on Cougar Sports TV, wherever you may be watching, as Morales goes to the rim. And we've got an offensive foul coming up against Shima Sabiti.
Armstrong foul. Call it number 22. Shima Sabiti. That's his first.
For Sabiti, that's his first. It's the 4th against Armstrong. And he will sit down as Montel Baines comes back in. Armstrong will have the height advantage in this matchup, as Ty Harris is also back in to run the point. Callanan deflected that pass, so Harris had to go retrieve it. Funderburk from the left wing rattles home and out. And then bad pass by Morales is a steal and a turnover. Morgan, they're going to wipe the shot off and say foul on the floor, as Harris got a little fancy that time. Didn't set up Morgan in the great situation, but the foul was on Carlos Brown. It's his second. And with 9:19 to go, it's still a 19-18 game. CSU with a fresh 35 off the inbounds. Kirkland sets the screen for Sessions. Back rim on the 3, and 2 CSU players go for that rebound, and D'Angelo Kirkland hit the floor hard. That lower back came flying down, and that was the first thing to make contact with the ground. As he lays there on the ground, trying to shake this one off. Him and Jermaine Morgan each went up for that rebound together, and D'Angelo came crashing down, and it was that lower back that caught before anything else did on the floor. D'Angelo getting up to his feet on his own. That's going to be a stinger, but that's going to be one that hurts. Not going to be one of those that you're not going to feel tomorrow. So he and Tripp Youngblood, the men's basketball athletic trainer, will walk to the bench where they'll check him out and make sure he's all right. Shane Hayward will come back in. CSU will have it. They'll lay Kirkland down over by the bench to check him out as Kenny Funderburk misses the long two. Hayward again on the offensive glass through the contact. Didn't get the and one, but he does draw the foul and 2 free throws. And this is the Shane Hayward we saw on Sunday in this building against UNC Pembroke. When he goes up for the rebound, he's the one that commands it, and he gets through contact and is a very good scorer underneath. The foul was on Darius Morales. It's his second, as Shane, not the greatest of free throw shooters at 57%, clangs the first. Eric Eversley will come in favor of Morales, who hits the bench with 2 fouls. Our scoring has reached a stalemate here at 19-18, and Hayward puts an end to that with a free throw to give him 6. Hayward and Funderburk each with 6. R.J. Sessions has 3. D'Angelo Kirkland and B.J. Battle each with 2. Hayward another rebound, and then he's hemmed up underneath. They take it away from him, and Eric Eversley lays it in. Hayward was double-teamed off of the rebound, and Eversley just ripped it out of his hands, and now Harris stuck in a double team. Finally, they get it up the floor, but the pressure defense that time bothering CSU as they did not handle it well up the floor, and they're fortunate to have it back. Tilliscar comes to the floor for Armstrong. B.J. Battle back in for CSU. .8:25 in this first half on the clock. 21-19, Armstrong by 2. Funderburk to the rim, missed the shot strong. Rebound tapped around. Kenny got his hands back on it. B.J. Battle wide open on the kick out and missed it short. Those are the ones you almost count before he takes it. Over the top, Eversley makes the catch. Through the double team, Hayward blocked it. Loose on the floor, Morgan has it, and CSU looking to run. Battle by himself, pulls up from 6 feet and knocks it down. Shane Hayward setting that one up on the defensive end with the block. And B.J. Battle pays it off with the 2 to tie it at 21. Underneath, Eversley behind the zone. Got in the middle, and they found him open, and Eric Eversley has 6. Good look that time by Tilliscar to find his man open on the baseline. Harris with a nifty move to the rim, and Ty Harris showing you why Robert Moore brought him here. He's an explosive guy that can score the basketball. He has great ball handling skills. He's improving as a passer, and they just have to rein him in a little bit. Get him to make smart decisions, get him to take care of the basketball, and he can play big-time minutes for this team. 7-minute mark now, tied at 23. Good D by Funderburk, forces Brown to give it up. Callanan drives, the runner with the one hand, ends up back in his hands after a tipped rebound. A second try isn't there. Rebound tipped, last touched by Baines, and it's Cougar basketball. 6:46 to go. 23 all, and immediate timeout on the floor. Tie ball game in the Lumpkin Center here on Cougar Sports TV. Tie ball game inside the Lumpkin Center. 23 all, CSU and Armstrong knotted up after a thrilling 79-78 victory for the Lady Cougars in the opening game. CSU looking for the sweep here on this Saturday afternoon. They were able to sweep a doubleheader against UNC Pembroke the last time they were in this building on Sunday. Then both teams were swept by Young Harris on Wednesday, so they're hoping to continue to follow each other here today. CSU with the basketball, a chance to take the lead with 6:30 to go. Dimitri Davis into the game for the first time. They're getting the basketball underneath, and the turnaround falls off. Shane Hayward, though, with the rebound, and with the left hand, Shane Hayward lays it in. Shane playing good minutes again as he has 8 points and 6 rebounds in this first half. Having a half very similar to what Kerry Washington did for the women in game 1, and now Shane with the steal. In transition, Funderburk from 17 feet, missed it. Tap up on the rim, fell off, and a foul from behind, and I believe this one will be on Davis. It is on Davis. That's his first. Only 3 fouls against CSU so far. 6 committed by Armstrong. This is Bellinger being guarded by B.J. Battle. It's a veteran roster for Armstrong. And now a timeout called by Evans Davis and Armstrong after he doesn't like the way the possession is going. It's interesting to look at these two sides because these two teams have been built very much in the same fashion. You look at CSU's active roster of 14 players, 12 of them attended another school prior to coming to CSU. 12 of them transferred in here. Only 2 of them, R.J. Sessions and Dimitri Davis, have been here out of high school. On the opposite side, you look at the same thing for Armstrong. They have 14 on their active roster. Only 4 of them attended Armstrong straight out of high school. So they're 2 teams that have been built from the junior college ranks or from the Division I transfer ranks. And so these 2 programs choosing to build them the same way. It's up to be decided by yourself whether or not that scheme works. You see programs throughout the Peach Belt Conference do it different ways. We watched UNC Pembroke in here on Sunday, a team that had mostly high school kids that had come in there as Callanan misses the 3. And they had a lot of guys that had redshirted during their time at Pembroke as well. So there's just differing styles. Underneath, Davis made the catch, had his shot blocked, but a foul coming up called by the official on the baseline, and Evans Davis not pleased with the foul call. The foul goes against Shima Sabiti. It's his second. 7th foul, but in the process of shooting was Dimitri Davis, so he'll have 2 shots. That's the 3rd different Pirate to reach 2 fouls in this half. Dimitri Davis, one of the 2 players that has played his entire career here, able to rattle home the first free throw. A junior out of Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Comes into play today, averaging just 2.5 points a game. His minutes fluctuate. Some nights he plays quite a few minutes. Other nights he just is completely missing from the court. 26-23, CSU in front. 5:15 to go in this first half. Armstrong led early. CSU caught back up as Tilliskar got caught too far underneath the rim. CSU, though, has led for the last few minutes. Funderburk missed the 2, and B.J. Battle with the rebounding foul. Kenny started by making his first 3 shots. He's missed his last 5. Foul on Battle is his first. That's 4 now against CSU. Funderburk will sit. R.J. Sessions will come back. So for CSU, it's the starting 5, with the exception of D'Angelo Kirkland not out there. Dimitri Davis is. D'Angelo hit the floor hard on his lower back earlier, is up on the bench, sitting down there right near the assistant coaches, so he seems to be okay. Tilliskar fouled on the jump shot that time by B.J. Battle as they both hit the floor. The shot wasn't there, but Tilliskar will earn free throws. The foul on BJ is his second. So the junior's likely going to have to check out of the ball game now with 4:40 to go in the first half. Kenny Funderburk back to the scorer's table. Emmanuel Tilliskar, the one at the line. It was a 3-shot foul, so they're not going to let the subs check out until after the second one. Tilliscar already with 8 points in the game, the junior from Boynton Beach, Florida. Has the second one bounce out as well. Tilliscar is a guy that transferred from St. Petersburg College. It's one of 3 different players that transferred to Armstrong from there. Carlos Brown, another junior, who played alongside Tilliscar at St. Petersburg. And then Kenny Bellinger is a year older than them, but he also came from St. Petersburg. So Tilliscar gets 1 out of 3 and makes it a 2-point game. Good crowd on hand on this Saturday afternoon. One of the better crowds we've seen in this building this year so far. They watched a thriller in game 1, and they're watching a good one here in game number 2. Funderburk off to Harris. Harris drives into the middle of the zone, sets up Davis from just inside the free throw line, and Dimitri Davis gets it to fall. Nice job that time by Ty Harris. He got into the middle of the zone and set it up for the teammate. Montel Baines on the other end beat the defense down the floor and got an easy 2 out of it. Funderburk from the baseline. Missed. Davis, though, goes and gets it, and he's blocked, and the last touch was by Armstrong. It'll be CSU possession after the media timeout. 3:52 to go. 28-26, Cougars by 2. CSU holding on to a 2-point lead, 28-26 with 3:52 to go. Cougars have gotten 9 more shots put up on the rim than Armstrong has, and that's thanks to 10 offensive rebounds. Hayward underneath, basket, and 1. Shane Hayward playing like a man that's driven underneath right now as Shane jumps into double figures with 10. This is his second and 1 opportunity of this ball game as he drew the foul against Tilliscar, his first. Shane with 11 and 7 in the first 16 minutes of this one, and CSU goes to its own press. Ty Harris gets the steal, had his shot blocked by Eversley. Dimitri Davis, though, there to put it back in. CSU now causing some issues with a press of its own. And now a 5-second call. They get back-to-back turnovers, and that will excite the fans here inside the Lumpkin Center. CSU opening up a 7-point lead. A chance to make it 9 or even 10 if they could manage one from downtown. How the tides will have turned if they could hit one from outside. RJ Sessions would be the man to do so, but they give Shane the basketball again, and then he shuffles his feet and travels. That is a noticeable change, though, from early in this season. Shane Hayward calling for the basketball, demanding that he get it down low. Bellinger got caught up in the air that time, and CSU trying to be aggressive, got up underneath him and committed the foul. It goes against RJ Sessions. It's his first. 6 against CSU, but the pressure defense bothering Armstrong right now. 3:19 to go, a 7-point game. Off the inbound, CSU will back off with the exception of Ty Harris, who's guarding the ball. It's Kelsey Walker that's running the show at the moment. Tilliskar gets a touch working on Funderburk, drops it off for Baines, who uses his body to shield off the defenders, and Montel Baines has 6. 5-point game now. Harris to the rim. Circus layup doesn't go down, but he does earn 2 free throws. Foul on Kelsey Walker is his first. 9 now against Armstrong. And Ty Harris will head to the free throw line. The junior college transfer from Southern State Community College. He's out of New Orleans, Louisiana. And with Jamad Salim down, Jamad missed the start of the season because of a broken wrist. So it was Derek Spear and Nick Turner that did a lot of the bulk of the load early in the season at point guard. Jamad came back, played 4 games, was very good at the spot. And then he got hurt again, and he's been out for 4 games since, as Tilliskar had his shot blocked, but they're going to say Hayward committed the foul. So Hayward called for his first. But when Jamad went down again, they went back to Derek Spear and Nick Turner. That didn't work out. They chose to go to Ty Harris, and Ty has played really well in the last couple of games. And he really is, probably based on pure potential alone, the best option at point guard for CSU. But every once in a while, he has a tendency to get a little fast, to get out of control, and make a few poor decisions, and sometimes you just have to live with that to get the payoff of what else he brings to the table. Now CSU with a turnover in the backcourt and a two-handed slam for Kenny Bellinger, and now a foul coming up after the dunk on the part, I believe, of Dimitri Davis. Bellinger got up and threw it down with 2 hands, and the foul goes on Davis to make it an and 1. So Dimitri Davis hit with his second foul. And so with 2:41 to go, Kenny Bellinger will have a chance to add a free throw to make this a 2-point game. Referees now talking to both Bellinger and Dimitri Davis as the two got tangled up underneath the rim. Davis is going to check out in place of Jermaine Morgan. So Bellinger will walk to the line to make it a 2-point game. Unable to do so. Armstrong 3 of 6 from the foul line, and then CSU turns it over in the backcourt again. Fortunately, though, Shane Hayward was able to hold on to the rebound this time and draws the foul in the backcourt. Armstrong doesn't give you an opportunity to be lazy with the basketball. And Robert Moore telling his guys, hey, grab the ball, put your elbows up, and hold on to it. You've got to rip it through after the rebound. You can't just be soft. Have to be strong with the basketball. The foul was on Eversley. It's his first. It was the 10th team foul, so Shane Hayward to the line for 2 on the other side. Shane having a great first half. He's a rebound away from a double-double here in half number 1. 11 points and 9 rebounds already for the junior. And gets the friendly roll in the second to give him 12. 2.5 minutes to go in the first half, 4-point game, 36-32. Bellinger for 3 in the corner, way too strong, missed everything, and a foul coming up on the rebound. The foul goes against Ty Harris. It'll be his first. So Eric Eversley to the line for the 1-and-1 after the 9th team foul. Eversley, a guy with 7 points already. Again, we talked about it. 11.5 and nearly 10 rebounds a game. He has been a force. The senior from Rockledge, Florida. 2-point game again, and again pressure in the backcourt now. 36-34. It opens up R.J. Sessions for 3 from straight on, and he buries it. RJ Sessions with the first three-pointer of the game for the Cougars. RJ has 6 now. Baines underneath, blocked by Hayward. Blocked out of bounds, so it'll stay with Armstrong, but Shane tallying another one to his total. Shane is the imposing force that CSU was missing defensively last year in the middle. They did not have that. They had some guys that had some size, but they were not defensive presences underneath. Shane, a slight frame, but he has arms that go for days as we roll under 2 minutes to go. 39-34. It's been as much as 7 in CSU's favor. Tilliscar to match threes off the front rim. The follow wasn't there, and Ty Harris has the rebound, headed the other way with numbers. RJ, heat check from the right side, knocks it down. RJ Sessions, a guy that when he gets going, he can light it up in this building. 9 for the freshman. And CSU has its largest lead at 42-34, and a travel gives it back to CSU. Kenny Funderburk getting talked to by the official. He wants the basketball, though. CSU feeling it with 1:18 to go. They want the ball, and they want it on offense to get an opportunity to add on. See if they run RJ off a screen to get him another look, because he's quite the streaky shooter, and he's hit 2 in a row. He's being guarded by Bellinger. He gets the screen, comes off of it, and Bellinger's in his hip pocket. They run the flex screen for him, but Bellinger defended it well. They go underneath, trying to go to Hayward, and Baines hit with the foul, and that will be his second. So you look down the ledger here for Armstrong. Carlos Brown with 2, Sabiti with 2, Morales with 2, and Baines with 2. So 4 guys saddled with 2 in the first half. Hayward at the line. Callanan comes back in, as does Beniyad Sharif for Armstrong. Beniyad Sharif, the leading scorer for this team, is scoreless right now. Averaging 15.5 per game, and he has nothing. The second one, Karam's into the hands of Jermaine Morgan, and CSU a chance to lead by double figures as they have it with 50 seconds to go. 20 seconds between the shot clock and the game clock. 43-34, CSU by 9. Sessions for his 3rd in a row off the left rim. And then RJ commits the foul against Eversley, who was hanging on to that rebound. And for RJ, that's going to be his second. This place getting a little fired up. This is about as rowdy as this building has been at any point this season. 37.7 showing on the game clock. 43-34, it's Eric Eversley at the free throw line for the double bonus. Eversley with both would get into double figures with 10. Nick Turner into the game for the first time in favor of RJ Sessions, who just committed his second foul, so they'll save him from picking up a cheap one for a 3rd in this first half, as Eversley does hit double digits, and Robert Moore will take a timeout with 37 seconds to go. 43-36, CSU has led by as much as 9. It's a 7-point game now. And assistant coach Carl Little working with Shane Hayward on the sideline right now, showing him what he needs to do when he grabs those rebounds. He's grabbed a lot of them, but on the defensive end, Armstrong has had active hands, and every time he grabs it, they must have seen something on tape about it, because they go in with both hands and try to rip it away from him because he doesn't keep the ball high. That's where he's at fault right now, is when he grabs rebounds, he brings it down to waist level. When you're 6'6" and have arms that are about 3 feet long, grab the rebound and keep it high. They can't go get it without fouling you. 2-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. CSU can have it for basically the last shot should it choose. Nick Turner holding on to it, willing to let some of this clock dribble out. And Armstrong's willing to let it sit as well. We'll watch and see at what point they go. Callahan starting to creep up, and as soon as he does, they kick it around, stop the 5-second count, and Ty Harris gets it. The screen from Hayward. Off to Funderburk, down to 10 now. Shot clock at 8. This is Harris. Goes to Funderburk. Funderburk, a left swing three. Missed it, but contact high in the air against Tilliskar will send Kenny Funderburk to the line for 3 with 5.3 seconds to go. And add Tilliskar to the guys on the Armstrong list with 2 fouls. That was blatant, though, as Tilliskar got all of Funderburk's arm. So CSU, with all 3 of these free throws, if they all go through, would lead by 10 with 5 seconds left in the half. It would be a great close for the Cougars at this point. Kenny with 8, a chance to get 9. Kenny gets all of them. Bellinger at the horn for 3. It would have counted had it gone. It doesn't. And CSU is going to take a 46-36 lead into the locker room at halftime. The Cougars close on an 11-4 run and lead it by 10 at the break. RJ Sessions hit a couple of big three-pointers back-to-back to push it out to a 10-point game as they go to the locker room. Good close for CSU. And Shane Hayward, the man of the first half for CSU. He had 13 points. He grabbed 9 rebounds, almost a surefire bet for a double-double early in that second half. Hayward has 13 to pace Columbus State, 9 for Kenny Funderburk. RJ Sessions also with 9. 5 for Dimitri Davis, 4 for Ty Harris and BJ Battle, and 2 for D'Angelo Kirkland. On the other side, it's Emmanuel Tilliskar with 11 to lead the way for the Pirates. 10 for Eric Eversley, 5 for Kenny Bellinger, 6 for Montel Baines, and 2 apiece for Morales and Carlos Brown. The bigger story for Armstrong offensively right now is Isham Binayad Sharif was 0 for 2 from the field, 0 points in 8 minutes of action. Their leading scorer with a goose egg going into the locker room. 14 minutes left in the halftime break. They go to the locker room. We'll take the halftime break with them. We'll come back, take a look at what your Peach Belt Conference standings look like and where CSU stacks up amongst the other PBC schools, and have your second half of basketball. Heading to the break, 46-36, Columbus State by 10. 46-36 our score at the break. Stephen Williams here with you on Cougar Sports TV as we get set for second half action from the Lumpkin Center on this Saturday afternoon. The Cougars going for the sweep of Armstrong on this Saturday as the Lady Cougars won the opener 79-78. CSU in front by 10 at the break, and as you take a look at the Peach Belt Conference standings coming into today, CSU just 2-5 right now in the number 5 spot in the Western Division. Montevallo has surged to the top of the division lead now at 5-2. Georgia Southwestern and Young Harris who defeated CSU on Wednesday, they are both tied at second at 4-2. Remember, Young Harris can't make the PBC tournament. And then North Georgia hanging in there at 500. And Georgia College in that tie with CSU, so they're dangerously close to being out if the tournament were to start today. On the opposite side, Georgia Regents and USC Aiken have been the best two teams in this conference this season, at least by the numbers, as those two have not lost a conference game yet, a combined 11-0 and a combined 26-4 overall. And then it's a jumbled mess. Lander, Armstrong, Francis Marion all within a game of each other. UNC Pembroke, who was thought to be one of the better teams in this conference, down there in the 6th spot. So it could be a fun race in that Eastern Division that is loaded from top to bottom. CSU in that first half shot 42%. They were just 2 of 10 from downtown. Both of them makes by R.J. Sessions late in the first half. 12 of 16, though, from the foul line. As CSU got to the line a lot, they put Armstrong in foul trouble, and they got there. CSU out-rebounded Armstrong 25-14. They grabbed 13 offensive rebounds to just 10 defensive rebounds for Armstrong. So they're getting better than 50% of their own misses at this point, and that's been a huge key in this one. And CSU has kept the turnovers down a little bit. They have 8 at this point. Armstrong shot it at 43%, 27 from downtown, and 7 of 10 from the line. Armstrong with the basketball to start things off. It's Tilliscar, Callanan, Bellinger, Baines, and Eversley. For CSU, it's Harris, Battle, Sessions, Hayward, and Kirkland. So both teams going back to their starting fives for this half. So Armstrong, the opening possession with a 10-point lead. Or rather, 10-point deficit, CSU with the lead. Armstrong led early before CSU went on its run. Closed the half on an 11-4 run, and Armstrong turns it over. Harris with the steal, the outlet to BJ. Battle, the reverse layup, not there. They're going to say basket interference will give the basket to BJ Battle. In the net that time was an Armstrong defender. So count it. BJ has 6, and CSU's run continues. 12 points, the largest margin in this game. Bellinger, right corner 3, off the side rim. They didn't shoot it well from 3 in the first half. They're now 25% from long distance. Tilliscar, the leading scorer in the first half at 11 points for the Pirates, missed. But here's a third opportunity. Long shots tend to lead to long rebounds, and that's the case on this possession. 12-point game, though. CSU in control at the moment. Well, we said that a lot this year in games that they've lost. Eversley high that time with one hand puts it in to make it back at a 10-point game. Ty Harris, the point guard once again for CSU. This is Kirkland to the rim, through the contact, missed the shot, got his own miss, and laid it back in. D'Angelo scored the first 2 for CSU, and that was his first basket since the opening 2. Good to see D'Angelo back out on the floor after the nasty spill that he took in that first half. Went high for a rebound, was undercut a little bit, and landed on his lower back. Flush on the floor. Tilliscar misses again from outside. Baines the offensive rebound, and he'll have no basket, but a foul coming up in 2 shots. So already in the second half, Armstrong turning the tides a little bit on the glass. Grabbing 3 offensive rebounds already. The foul was on Shane Hayward. It's his second. Handful of players across the board on both sides. They now have 2 fouls. Nobody yet to hit 3. Montel Baines averaging nearly 9 points a game, closing in on that right now. He has 7. Give him 8 now from the line, and it's a 10-point game again. CSU will make the caveat again. 7 times this season, CSU's had a 10-point lead and allowed the opponent to either tie or take the lead. 4 times it's happened in conference play, and they've lost all 4 of them. Hayward spins to the basket and left it just short. Eversley the rebound. So no lead is safe so far this season for Columbus State. You can't be up by enough. Callanan misses the 3. Another offensive rebound, though. Eversley, basket in the foul. That's 4 offensive rebounds on 3 possessions for Armstrong, and Shane Hayward just picked up his 3rd foul. So Shane Hayward, the first to hit the 3-foul mark. He'll have to sit, and Jermaine Morgan will come on in his place. Eversley with 14, give him 15 now, and it's a 7-point game. For Armstrong, it's about chipping away. You don't have to get all 10 back right away. Just get a few here, a few there, and you can quickly have this margin erased. Harris drives, tried to get it to Kirkland and turned it over. Baines the steal, out to Callanan, goes to the other end, and Morgan high to block the shot. BJ Battle on the other side, around Tilliskar, missed it. Morgan's follow not there, and now we're getting sloppy. The pass deflected, and will go out of bounds. And it'll belong to Armstrong off the deflection. Jermaine Morgan missing the left shoe, so we'll have to put that one back on. Tie the laces back up, but it's 50-43. It's a 7-point game. They've knocked 3 points off the lead in 3 minutes. And with the basketball, it can knock even more off. Morgan just about pokes it away from Eversley out at the top of the key. Callanan now down to Eversley, posting up on Morgan. And Jermaine calling that time for putting 2 hands on the offensive player. That's one of the new ones. The minute you lay 2 hands on an offensive player with the basketball, that whistle's going to be blown and a foul will be called. So Jermaine hit with his 2nd. Tillisker drops it down low. Baines missed it, but another offensive rebound. I don't know what Evans Davis said to his team at halftime as Tillisker draws the foul against Ty Harris and then hits the floor. That's his 2nd and already 4 against CSU. As Sessions will sit, Kenny Funderburk will come back in. Tilliskar off the inbounds. Again misses the 3. Another, though, offensive rebound. Whatever it was that was said in that locker room, Armstrong has grabbed 6 offensive rebounds now in this half, and we've played less than 4 minutes. Tilliskar to the rim. Make it 5 fouls against CSU. Kirkland hit with the blocking foul that time. This is getting ugly in a hurry for CSU in the foul department. 5 in less than 4 minutes in this second half. So it's Emmanuel Tilliskar at the line for 2 shots. The line has not been his friend in this ball game so far. 3 of 6 now from the foul stripe. Making 3 of 7. And that time, CSU grabs a rebound, and D'Angelo Kirkland says, "You're not taking this one away from me." That happened too many times in the first half to Shane Hayward and company, and that time D'Angelo put his elbows out and said, "Come get it." Foul was on Eversley. It's his 2nd. Armstrong back again with pressure in the backcourt. CSU tries to throw it over the top. If they see Kirkland, he's wide open, and they finally get it to him for the dunk. Took him a while to recognize he was there, but as soon as they did, BJ Battle rushed it to him for the slam dunk. 9-point game. Over 4 minutes gone by in this second half now. Tilliskar drops it underneath for Eversley. Basket and the foul again. Foul goes on Kirkland. It's his second. That's 6 now on CSU. Eversley to the line after the media timeout. Armstrong's already knocked 3 points off the lead. 15:33 to go, 52-45. Cougars in front here on Cougar Sports TV. (52-45), Columbus State in front by 7. They led by 10 at the half, and it's Eric Eversley at the foul line to complete the three-point play out of the timeout. CSU has already now put Armstrong into the bonus on the next foul. They fouled 6 times in this half's first 4.5 minutes. Eversley misses the free throw and backs away from committing the foul that time. They've got Ty Harris, though, hemmed up in the backcourt, and he turns it over. Dropped the ball in the backcourt after the press. And it's a turnover, and it's back into Armstrong's hands. Kelsey Walker, Darius Morales in for Armstrong. Baines and Bellinger sit down. CSU in a zone now. BJ Battle with the steal. One-on-one with Callanan. Battle, basket, no, it'll roll off, but Callanan commits the foul. It's one of those you'd really like to see BJ finish off, but you'll take the steal and the free throws. Kyle Callanan commits the foul. It's his first. That's the second on Armstrong. So BJ Battle at the free throw line. 7 points for him now, the junior out of Orlando. Picked up 2 fouls in the first half. Sat for the last 5 minutes or so. But back out there now and adding to the CSU total. CSU 14 of 18 from the foul line. That's quite the improvement from where the Lady Cougars shot it in the first of this doubleheader. CSU applying its own pressure now, as Armstrong able to break it. Trying to drop the ball down low to Eversley, and Jermaine Morgan hit with the foul from behind that time. Jermaine not happy about it. Called for the foul. It's his third, and here we are. 14:58 to go. And they are in the 1-and-1 bonus. Dimitri Davis will come in place of Jermaine Morgan. So Morgan sitting with 3 fouls. Hayward sitting with 3 fouls. And it's Eversley at the line for the 1-and-1. He's 5 of 6 from the stripe today. He has a game-high 17 points. That one barely grazed the front rim. And we've got a foul coming up on the rebound against Armstrong's Kelsey Walker. That's his second. You get the feeling we could be here all night in this second half because of fouls. It seemed that way in game number 1 as well, as the Lady Cougars and Armstrong combined for a lot of fouls in half number 2 of that one also. Long tap on the rebound into the hands of Kenny Funderburk, and here's an offensive rebound for CSU. Foul coming up away from the ball underneath, and this one will be on Walker as well as he's hit with back-to-back fouls. That's his third. That's 4 on Armstrong now. Benayad Sharif back into the game. Carlos Brown back out there now. Benayad Sharif, the leading scorer for this Armstrong team, scoreless right now. Battle, the fall away on the baseline, off the inbounds, and B.J. Battle is into double figures with 10. The pass for Benayad Sharif, caught underneath, drops it off for Morales, and Kirkland hit for the foul. D'Angelo Kirkland, the latest Cougar to hit foul trouble. That's 3 on him. Fouls mounting on CSU now. Darius Morales, the senior from Orlando, at the foul line. Brandon Dawson is going to check in for the first time, and he is a guy that doesn't traditionally play a post player spot. He's a big guy at 6'7", 225 pounds, but a guy that shoots more from the perimeter, and he's going to be forced to play post player minutes right now. Morales way off on the second. Brown's follow goes down, though, and it's an 8-point game. Carlos Brown on the offensive glass gets 2 more. Armstrong now in a 2-3 zone. Callanan and Brown, the 2 up top. Should open things up on the perimeter for CSU, though. Harris splits the middle of it. Shot up, good, and count it. Ty Harris that time did what you have to do against a zone. He got into the middle of it, cut it in half, and laid it in through the contact. The foul goes on Carlos Brown. It's his third. So Ty Harris with 3 the old-fashioned way. Has 7 now. Nice afternoon for Harris so far. 7 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists. Benayad Sharif underneath, posting up on Battle. Finally gets his first 2. He uses the height advantage. And Isham Benayad Sharif has his first 2. Kenny Funderburk, right wing 3. Short, Eversley the rebound. 2 high-powered offenses, so no lead safe. Both sides can erase deficits in a hurry. Eversley drops it off. Morales couldn't hold on to it, and it's tied up underneath. CSU basketball on the arrow. Four players in double figures in this ball game. Shane Hayward has 13, B.J. Battle with 10, Eric Eversley with 17, Emmanuel Tilliskar has 11. Davis, the fall away, missed it left. Callanan to the corner for Brown, a 3 over Funderburk, almost banked in from the side. That's never a good sign. 7 minutes gone by. Ty Harris kicking it into another gear, had his pass deflected, but it ends up in the CSU hands. Harris put it into overdrive that time, but had the pass deflected. Down to 10 on the shot clock now. Harris staring down the zone to the wing. Funderburk now has to do something with it. Barrels his way into the center. The fall away was too strong. Offensive rebound, Dimitri Davis. So CSU able to use some clock here on this possession. Still winning the battle of the boards, 34-25. Funderburk to the rim and fouled at the rim by Morales. And for Morales, that will be his third. So a trio of players on each side with 3 fouls, and Kenny Funderburk to the free throw line. Kenny has yet to score in this half, but he has 9 for the game. He's just 3 of 11 from the field, though. He's missed his last 8 from the field after making the first 3. Bellinger, Baines, and Sabiti back in for Armstrong. Morales, Eversley, and Callanan will sit down. Funderburk gets them both. He's in double figures. He has 11 now. Nick Turner in, Ty Harris out. Nick played about 20 seconds in that first half. CSU with pressure in the backcourt. Armstrong able to break it, though, as Bellinger gets into the front court. Beniyad Sharif misses again from outside. Funderburk on the run, 1-on-2, goes right at Brown, and he'll head back to the free throw line. And for Brown, that's foul number 4. Under 12, media timeout upon us here inside the Lumpkin Center. Kenny Funderburk headed to the line after the break. 11:52 to go. CSU leading by 11. (61-50). CSU in front by 11. Just at this point, a little bit in control of the second half. Armstrong cut it down to 7 at 50-43 as CSU extended it back out. And now Kenny Funderburk at the line has a chance to stretch it to 13. On a day when it's not going down from the field for Kenny, he's done a nice job of getting to the foul line. These are free throw attempts 6 and 7, and he's made all 7 of them. And CSU again off the free throw make can go right into its press. Armstrong again, though, no issue breaking it. (13-point game, 11 minutes and 40 seconds to go here inside the Lumpkin Center. 63-50. CSU has tacked on 3 more from its halftime lead of 10. Bellinger to the rim with the left hand. A nice move falling left by the senior Kenny Bellinger. 7 for him. 11-point game, but for Armstrong, it has to start on this end. Defensive stops have got to be the priority at the moment. Staying in that 2-3 zone, and CSU not with great shooters on the floor. Great perimeter shooters, that is. BJ Battle, the biggest perimeter threat. Funderburk right to the rim. And he's decided that since it's not going down from the field, he's just going to go right at it. He's either going to get fouled or he's getting layups. Kenny now with 15, and we've got refs in between 2 players. Brandon Dawson and Montel Baines getting into it a little bit, as there was some contact away from the ball, and that'll fire some things up here. There was a foul against Brandon Dawson. That's his first. That's the 9th against CSU, so Montel Baines will head to the line for the 1-and-1. RJ Sessions in, BJ Battle out. And you've got 2 teams here that are emotional, high-strung, high-energy, fired-up guys. And so you knew that this could be this kind of a ball game. They get into it. Hey, words are exchanged. Credit to the officials. Jumped in fast. Didn't tee anybody up. Just let it go. Just make sure you stay in control of it. Baines at the foul line with his next one would join the crew in double figures with 10. Baines a perfect 4 for 4.
from the charity stripe. He does have 10, and CSU's lead is back at 11. 65-54 as we close in on the midway point here in the second half. Funderburk from the left side, 3 rolls out. And a foul on Dimitri Davis on the rebound. That's the quickest way to let Armstrong back into this ball game, is fouling at the moment, because CSU's in the double bonus now. They were in the 1-1 at the 14:58 mark, and now with 10:25 to go, they're in the double bonus. And this is Shima Sabiti, who was fouled 90 feet from the rim, and he'll get 2 shots. Sabiti just 2 for 5 this season before today from the foul line, so if there's someone I guess you wanted to foul, this would have been the okay party. Armstrong is 22 of 26 now from the line as Sabiti misses them both. Already, rather 13 of 23. I'm looking at the wrong numbers. 13 of 23 from the foul line. I've already been there, though, 23 times each. Both these teams have. We still have 10 minutes to go. Dawson with it. Drops it down low for Davis. Made the catch, but Sabiti committed the foul from behind, and that'll put CSU in the bonus. 10:01 left on the clock. Let's run down the foul situation because it's getting ugly on both sides. For CSU, Shane Hayward has 3. Dimitri Davis with 3. Jermaine Morgan with 3. D'Angelo Kirkland with 3. On the other side, Carlos Brown has 4. 3 for Kelsey Walker, 3 for Shima Sabiti, and 3 for Darius Morales at this point. It's Dimitri Davis at the line for the 1-1. He's had a nice afternoon so far. 6 points, grabbed 6 rebounds. Kept that one alive, and Kenny Funderburk made the catch and then lost it out of bounds. Last touch by Baines. But Dimitri, after missing the free throw, went and kept his own miss alive. 10:01 to go, 66-54, CSU by 12. Sessions fall away from 12 feet, off the back rim twice. Rebound fought for, and Sessions get to it. And we've got a foul coming up against Armstrong on the rebound. Foul is on Emmanuel Tilliskar, and add him to the list. That's 3 on him. This building getting a little riled up as well. You can feel the energy starting to build behind us. 9:50 to go, and it's RJ Sessions at the line now for the double bonus. Or rather, the 9th foul, so it's the 1-1. Can't get the free throw to go, and Dimitri Davis was the last one to touch it. So it'll belong to Armstrong. CSU, though, will not miss the opportunity to put on the press. Trying to back Bellinger into a corner, and Kenny Funderburk committed the foul. Funderburk hit with the foul. It's his 2nd. So well into the double bonus is CSU. So with 9:47 to go, it's Kenny Bellinger that's to the line for 2 shots. Bellinger, the senior out of Miramar, Florida. One of 5 seniors on the roster for Evans Davis at this point. Baines will come back in. Beniyad Sharif sits down. Armstrong trying to get their free throw alignment situated. Bellinger able to knock the pair down, give him 9, and they'll go back to their full court press. Able to get it into the front court. They'll set up R.J. Sessions for three off the front rim. Funderburk follow and the foul. Kenny Funderburk with 17 now, and he'll head to the line looking for 18. The foul goes against Bellinger. That's foul number 1 on him. That's rare to say in this ball game, but with 9:36 to go, Kenny Funderburk to the line for three the hard way. Shane Hayward, D'Angelo Kirkland back into the game, so both the post players will re-enter for CSU with 3 fouls. Kenny still perfect at the line, 8 for 8, and he has 18. He went for 20 on Wednesday night at Young Harris, and he's just one of 10 PBC players this season who scored 20 in a game at least 5 times. He's got a chance to make it 6 today. Tillisker to the basket. He'll draw the foul as Funderburk is hit with his third. The list is becoming a little bit too long to keep track of now, the number of guys that have 3 or 4 fouls in this ball game. Emmanuel Tillisker at the line. He's yet to score in this half, and finally able to shake that. He was the leading scorer for the Pirates in the first half. He had 11. That's his first. It took him 10 minutes and 37 seconds to make that happen. Morales in. Baines out, and we've got a lane violation on Eversley to wipe off the Tillisker free throw. So it stays a 12-point game with 9:23 to go. Funderburk going right at Morales, has it blocked at the rim. Loose on the floor is Eversley. We've got a jump ball, and the arrow favors Armstrong. Kenny that time tried to go up amongst a tower, and Darius Morales did a nice job not to foul and block the shot. $9:17 to go. Still a long way left in this ball game. 12-point game, 69-57. Armstrong a plenty explosive offense, and CSU well in the double bonus, so could be giving a lot of free points away, and Armstrong can score a lot on their own without help. Callanan gets the screen. He goes up in the middle of the defenders. Missed the shot. Rebound bounced around. Controlled by Morales, who goes up. His follow's not there. Eversley blocked by Kirkland. And a foul coming up. Foul is on D'Angelo Kirkland. That'll be his 4th. D'Angelo now with 4 fouls. He did not have a single foul at halftime. He's picked up all 4 of them here in this second half as Eric Eversley hits the first free throw. Jermaine Morgan will come in and Kirkland will sit down. Eversley now with 18 points and 9 rebounds. 19 and 9. On his way to what looks to be a 7th double-double. Morgan picked up the ball in the backcourt, and he's going to have to take a timeout. 8:38 to go. 69-59. CSU by 10 with a timeout coming up. Again, we're back here on Monday. Back here on Monday for Flagler College coming in. The Saints here at 1:30 and 3:30. On Monday afternoon, Martin Luther King Jr. Day across the country, and we'll celebrate it with some day basketball, and we'll have both of those games for you here on Cougar Sports TV. So looking forward to bringing you the Cougars and Lady Cougars versus Flagler College on Monday. That should be an entertaining women's matchup. Flagler has a guard by the name of Waleisha Spencer, who is averaging over 20 points a night, and then the Flagler men, although they're at the bottom of the PBC standings in the Eastern Division, should be a fun matchup with them and Columbus State Monday afternoon. So hopefully you'll be with us on Monday on Cougar Sports TV if you can't join us in person here in the Lumpkin Center. Again, good crowd on hand today. Good showing of the students that are here. Seen a lot of the student athletes well represented across the board. The fraternity guys down in the end zone, so a good crowd on hand for what's been a very good doubleheader. If you missed game one, CSU hung on 79-78 as Brianna Davis had a steal and a layup opportunity, granted with defense guarding her. As the horn sounded, the layup was just strong, though, on what would have been the second straight buzzer-beating victory for the Pirates. It was too strong and off the mark, and CSU escaped with a 1-point win. Armstrong with a little surprise pressure right there at midcourt. Slowed CSU up for a moment. Into the corner, Funderburk, who's had a great second half, pulls it up and knocks down the mid-range shot. Give Kinney 20. Hit the 20-point mark now for the 6th time this season. Tillisker to the rim. Adds 2 more to his total. Give Tillisker 14. Under 8 to go now. And that pass from R.J. Sessions sails right past Dean Sando on the CSU bench. 7:50 to go. 10-point game. Still plenty of basketball to be played. 71-61. CSU in front by 10 here on Cougar Sports TV. (71-61). Stephen Williams here with you on Cougar Sports TV. It's a 10-point game. 7:45 to go. Armstrong basketball, a chance to get inside double figures. Tillisker. They force him to go left. He gives it up on the screen and roll. Morales, the high-low underneath, and Eversley finishes it off. Eversley with 21. This is the juncture where CSU has had trouble closing out games. Turner, the no-look pass to Morgan was a little off the mark. CSU with a scrambled possession. Finally, will slow it up near midcourt with 20 on the shot clock. Turner on the right side. Thought about stepping into a three. Instead, finds Hayward underneath, who will draw the foul as he hits the floor. Shane won that possession as soon as he got that position underneath. As soon as he got to that spot, he had won the battle between he and Darius Morales, who just committed his 4th foul. You let Shane get the basketball that low, and it's going to be a tough task to keep him from scoring. They'll send him to the foul line with 7:01 to go for 2 shots. Ooh, rung around a couple of times, almost stopped on the rim and fell through. Hayward missed the second. He has 14 points, still searching for that 10th rebound to give him the double-double. Hayward blocks another shot. RJ on a run out, off to Funderburk. Bobbled it for a second, and Kenny Funderburk lays it in. And now we've got a timeout coming up, called on the part of Armstrong head coach Evans Davis. Foul trouble mounting, though, right now for these two sides. You look at what Armstrong has. Darius Morales has committed 4 fouls. Carlos Brown has committed 4 of his own. 3 on Emmanuel Tilliscar, 3 on Kelsey Walker, 3 on Shima Sabiti. On the other side, it's 4 on D'Angelo Kirkland. You have 3 on Shane Hayward, 3 on Kenny Funderburk, 3 as well on Dimitri Davis and Jermaine Morgan. So it's just been piling up one after the other against these two sides so far. CSU gets the basketball, or rather Armstrong has it with an 11-point deficit, 6.5 minutes to go. Carlos Brown, a clean look at a 3. It's off the front rim. Nick Turner, the rebound, he's going to run with it. And Turner lost it. Into the hands of Jermaine Morgan, though, and he'll head to the line with another foul. Foul goes against Shima Sabiti. It's his 4th. So Jermaine Morgan to the line for 2. Jermaine scoring his first point here at the line. It's been a quiet day for him from the field. Bellinger will come back in place of Brown. Baines is back out on the floor as well. $13-point margin. We've hung around this area for much of the second half. Poked away from behind by Hayward. It's regained by Eversley. Sets up Bellinger for 3 and a foul on the rebound coming up against Jermaine Morgan. And against Jermaine, that'll be his 4th. If Armstrong were to come back and force an extra frame in this one, which they have a lot of work to do to make that happen, we could be down to the reserves in a big way on both sides. It's Eversley again at the foul line, and Jermaine with his 4th foul will sit down. Dimitri Davis will come back. Eversley splits the 2, and there's the rebound Shane Hayward needed for the double-double. That's 14 and 10 for the junior from Charleston, South Carolina. 76-64, 5:40 to go. RJ Sessions with it. He's been quiet, hasn't scored in this second half. Shane gives it up. They work it around the perimeter. Sessions drives in. The one-handed floater wasn't there. Hayward called for the rebounding foul, and that brings the CSU bench to quite the stir. Shane hit with the foul. That's his 4th. So they'll walk to the other end for the double bonus. Mondell Baines, 4 for 4 from the foul line. On the other side now, shooting 2 with the clock stopped with 5:19 to go. Brandon Dawson will come in. Shane Hayward will sit. Baines now a perfect 6 for 6 from the line. 10-point game once again. Sessions to the rim, left the runner short again. Dawson got the offensive rebound, and they'll kick it back up top. Big offensive rebound that time by Brandon Dawson. Baines guarding Dimitri Davis on the sideline, and Baines eventually called for a foul right on the sideline. That'll be his third. So Dimitri Davis to the line for 2. CSU, after that miss, is 24 of 32 from the line. Armstrong, 21 of 32. 64 free throws already in this ball game. We had taken 26 at half. So you do the math. Was that 39 free throws, I believe, in this half by itself already? Davis now with 7 points. Baines makes the tough catch at the rim and then missed the shot right in front of the rim, and he missed it short. Funderburk off to Dawson, who can't catch it clean. Double teamed, he'll go through it anyway and miss the shot. Rebound tapped around a couple of times and saved into the hands of Eversley, and Armstrong on the run. Tilliskar to the rim, the shot no good, but the foul goes against Nick Turner. Foul on Turner is his first. Very few guys left that have played in this game that haven't committed at least one. So Emmanuel Tilliskar to the line for 2. Tilliskar, perfect 2 for 2 from the line. CSU brought in B.J. Battle, D'Angelo Kirkland, and Jermaine Morgan, the latter two playing with 4 fouls. This is Morgan looking for a kick out. They find Battle, but Armstrong there defensively. It's a 9-point game with 4 minutes and 20 seconds to go. Shot clock at 15 as Funderburk waves off Turner. Morgan sets the screen. Kenny lost it. Turner saved it in bounds, found Morgan on the other side. Jermaine able to go through 2 defenders and lay it in. Credit Nick Turner for keeping that play alive. Tilliskar to the basket. Nobody stopped him, and he's able to lay it in. Back to a 9-point game. Tilliskar with 17. CSU with a 3-on-1 after they break the press. B.J. Battle almost threw it down, but he was fouled, and Darius Morales is our first victim of this ball game. Morales called for his 5th foul, so he will foul out with 3:31 to go. His night will end with 3 points and 3 rebounds. And we've hit the final media timeout of the ball game. 3:31 to go. Don't go anywhere. 79-70. CSU leads here on Cougar Sports TV. Stephen Williams back here with you. 3:31 to go. CSU in front, 79-70. BJ Battle headed to the free throw line. These are the numbers on the second half. CSU 16 of 20, Armstrong 16 of 24 from the foul line. CSU 13 of 17. So we've had 41 free throws. These will be 42 and 43 as BJ Battle adds to his double-digit day. There have also been 30 fouls called already in this second half as BJ Battle gets another one. Battle with 12. "11-point game, 3:21 to go. CSU up 81-70. Callanan makes it an 8-point game with a three-pointer. It's the first three that's been hit in this half by either team. 8-point game now. Morgan to the rim. High, up, and good for Jermaine Morgan. Jermaine with 6 and the tough 2 there. All 6 of his in the second half. Tilliscar to the rack, and he's called, BJ Battle is called for the foul. That's the third against BJ. By my tally, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 CSU players with 3 fouls or more. And on the opposite side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 also on the other side that have at least 3. Tilliscar with 18. Rather 19 as he misses the second one. 19 points for Tilliscar, 22 for Eversley. Baines has 12. Those are the 3 in double figures for Armstrong at this point. For CSU, Funderburk has 22, 14 and 10 for Shane Hayward, and 12 for BJ Battle. Battle misses an opportunity for 14, but CSU keeps it alive, and Robert Moore sprinting to the other end says back it out and slow it down. 9-point game, 2:20 to go. No use in rushing at this point. Use some clock. Jermaine Morgan puts it on the floor, drops it off. Kirkland from 15 feet. Missed the shot. Battle flying in, has the follow. BJ Battle with 14. 2 minutes to go, 11-point game, 85-74. From the corner, it's Bellinger off from the 3. Battle the rebound. And CSU trying to run it out now. Robert Moore again says, hold it, and let's get everybody away from the basket. Let's run some clock. 1:35 to go. 11-point game as CSU tries to get back in the win column. Kirkland headed for the rim. The left-handed layup goes down. D'Angelo Kirkland with 8. And CSU up 13 with 80 seconds to go. Armstrong taking a timeout. Some of them come to their feet here in the Lumpkin Center with 1:13 to go. CSU on its way to another victory here inside the Lumpkin Center. It has not been easy, but today Columbus State has made the plays down the stretch they've needed in order to hold on to this lead. This has been a different script than what they're used to seeing. This has been a team that's been down, or rather been up 10 on a lot of occasions this year, only to watch that lead go away. Today, not the case, and we'll talk with Robert Moore post-game and get his thoughts on what was the difference today. As CSU looks like it's headed to 9-6 and 3-5 in conference play. We talked about it in pregame. When you lose the way they've lost in some of the games that they've lost, you put yourself behind the 8 ball and you force yourself to win every game possible, especially on your home floor. They're almost must-wins every time you step out there. And today it looks like they've taken care of business, and that's a step in the right direction. If they can close this one out, it would be their second straight victory at home after beating UNC Pembroke in overtime on Sunday. It would get them back in the win column, too, after a loss at Young Harris Wednesday night. This would be a much-needed victory for CSU, but they've got to start stringing victories together. They can't go alternating win-loss, win-loss. 1:05 to go, 13-point game. Callahan for a second one from downtown, not there. Long tip run down by Callahan at top of the key. Baines underneath, just don't foul if you're CSU. Baines missed it. They get another offensive rebound. Brown's follow is Wild. Bellinger on a fourth try missed. 4 misses on the possession, and a foul committed as Jermaine Morgan will walk to the other end and shoot free throws. CSU, all smiles on their face now as they walk to the other end with 44.6 seconds to go. Foul was on Montel Baines. That's his 4th. And CSU will tack on what they're hoping is a couple more points here. Jermaine Morgan at the line. A good second half for him today. That's 7 points for him, all of them in this half. Make it 8. Scoring very well spread around for CSU. 44 seconds from a victory. 89-74 the score. CSU is taking care of business on this Saturday afternoon, and Columbus State is going to sweep Armstrong in the doubleheader. Tilliscar misses. D'Angelo Kirkland with the rebound. Shot clock off. CSU doesn't have to take another shot, and they're not going to, as Robert Moore tells them to just slow down. B.J. Batta will weave in and out. It starts counting down, 10, 9, 8. As they round things out here in the Lumpkin Center, they get a round of applause from the fans in attendance. CSU wins it, 89-74. Robert Moore's bunch earns a well-fought victory on their home court on this Saturday afternoon. It's a clean sweep for Columbus State. 79-78 for the women, 89-74. The CSU men take the second half of the doubleheader. Post-game show coming up now from the Lumpkin Center. We'll talk with one of the Cougars. We'll hear from the head coach, Robert Moore, as it was a big-time victory today for CSU, as they've struggled so many times this season to get victories when they've had double-digit leads, and that is not the case today. As they were able to get it, they took care of the basketball down the stretch. They made shots when they needed, and they come out with a 15-point victory and get back on the winning side of things as they knock off Armstrong. And it's going to be junior Kenny Funderburk that slides in with us. He had 22 points. First off, you had to sit for most of 2 games. Didn't really feel effective. How's the shoulder doing?
Oh, it's doing better. Still not 100%, but I'm about 85, just taking it day by day.
And how different is it allowing you to attack at the basket versus what you had to do last weekend?
It's a little bit better. I mean, first I was kind of skeptical of going to the basket on it, but I feel much better now.
You look at this ball game, so many times this season you all have looked at it, you've had double-digit leads and couldn't close it out. What was the difference today?
We came together as a team and just told ourselves we're going to start finishing games. We dropped too many on the road, too many close games, but it's time for us to finish now.
When you look at how it's gone, does the pressure ever start to mount, like, hey, we've got to get this in gear now before it gets away from us?
Yeah, I think we got some good senior leadership in Jermaine Morgan. He brings us together and tells us to calm down, let's just play our game.
I'm looking forward to Monday. Flagler comes in here. You have a quick turnaround. What are some of the things you all have to do between now and Monday to get ready for them?
Same thing we did tonight. Just play hard and work hard.
Well, Kenny, 22 points for you tonight. Big victory. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Kenny Funderburk with us as he gets 22 points tonight, the 6th time he's had over 20 in a ball game. Robert Moore will be down with us when he finishes up with Scott Miller later on in this post-game show. It's an 89-74 victory for CSU as they run to 9-6 and 3-5 in Peach Belt Conference play. And still early in the conference season, still plenty of time for them to get back into that top 4 where they need to be in order to be playing back here in March in the PBC tournament. Your final scoring numbers look like this. Eric Eversley ties Kenny Funderburk for the game lead. He grabs 22 points and 10 rebounds for his 7th double-double of the season. 19 points for Emmanuel Tilliscar, 12 for Montel Baines. Kenny Bellinger grabbed 9. You look at it, though, Isham Benayan Sharif, the leading scorer for this team, goes for 15 points a game, gets 2, and he plays just 13 minutes. Evans Davis didn't put him in the game very much, and he didn't get hardly anything in the scoring column. For CSU, very well spread out between 8 guys. 22 for Kenny Funderburk, 14 for BJ Battle, 14 and 10 for Shane Hayward, and then it's 9 for RJ Sessions, 8 and 9 rebounds for D'Angelo Kirkland, 8 for Jermaine Morgan, and 7 for Ty Harris, who didn't play as much down the stretch for CSU in this one, as they went to Nick Turner down the stretch and allowed him to control the basketball. And Nick Turner tonight played good, didn't turn the basketball over at any time. So that was good down the stretch for him to take care of it and not give the ball up at all. That had been a little bit of an issue for him in the last few weeks, was turning the basketball over in late game situations. CSU shoots 43% for the game, 38% on the opposite side for Armstrong. CSU poor from the outside, 2 for 14, but here's the number I like. While they do shoot 2 for 14, they go 0 for 4 in the second half. They only took 4 attempts in the second half, and I thought that was huge. The decision-making process for CSU was big in that scenario where they decided it wasn't falling from outside, so they gave up the perimeter shot and only took 4 of them and turned it around and ended up getting better looks, and also went 17 of 21 from the free throw line in the second half. They were 29 of 37 for the game for 78%, and that was a big thing down the stretch for them as they ended up picking up the 15-point victory. On the opposite side, Armstrong struggled throughout the ball game as well from the three-point line. They go 4 of 23, just 17% from downtown. Both teams got to the free throw line a lot. We shot a combined 73 free throws on 53 fouls at this point. CSU goes 29 of 37 from the foul line for 78%, 66% from the other side, 24 for 36, and CSU crushes them on the glass, 50-33, as CSU head coach Robert Moore sits down. All right, Coach, let's start. First off, the biggest difference tonight versus the other games in which you had a 10-point lead and let it get away.
I thought tonight we did a better job of focusing on finishing the game. I thought guys stepped up to the line and made free throws, and I just heard you talk about the rebounding differences. I thought our guys really rebounded the ball. And, we went through a little adversity down that second half because we created so many fouls, so we put them on the foul line. But I thought our guys stayed tough, and, and it took its course. 73
fouls, 74 free throws. A game in which, you have a team that doesn't exactly shoot it all that well, but today they stepped up when they needed to, and they make 78% of them.
Oh, yeah, I thought we've been doing a better job of that in practice, making guys step up to the line and, putting running on the line for making free throws in practice, and our guys have adjusted to that knowing that the free throws count. If we can, I'm telling our guys right now, if we can get 70% from the free throw line and 10 or less turnovers, I think we got a great chance of being a good basketball team.
Kenny Funderburk finally looks like he's getting back healthy. He just said he feels about 85%, but that 85 is a big difference from last weekend.
Oh, yeah, you can see him attacking the basket, and he's got to create those easy buckets for us. He attacking the lane, I think it's good for our guys because it opened up shooters on the outside, and I thought Kenny did a great job tonight.
Shots weren't falling from outside. They go 2 of 14. Was it a concerted effort on your part, or did they take it upon themselves to stop shooting them in the second half because they only took 4?
We talk about it all the time. We got to play more inside out. Shane had a great first half. I thought some guys really attacked the basket tonight, D'Angelo, Jermaine, Dimitri. And I think we got to understand we're great athletes that can attack the rim, and we got to do that more instead of just selling for jump shots.
Point guard situation. You had Ty Harris. He played a lot of it. Chevy Keaton came in the first half. And then down the stretch, it was Nick Turner that you went with, and he did a good job of taking care of the basketball.
I know. That's why we didn't never put Ty back in. We thought Nick was doing a good job of controlling the game. We got a lot of options over there. These guys just got to understand when it's your turn, you got to step up to the plate and make sure you take care of the ball. And I thought Nick did a great job of running the team tonight. I didn't never think we got out of control the last 7 to 8 minutes of the game, and I was happy to see that. But Ty can push it. I thought Ty caused them all kind of havoc the first half because he can attack the rim, and I thought he did a great job too.
Quick turnaround now. Flagler comes in here on Monday. How difficult is it to prepare for them on just one day's rest?
My assistant coaches do a great job. Coach Hicks broke down the Armstrong tape, and I spent 4 or 5 hours on Flagler last night. So I think we're prepared. I think our guys got to get a little rest tonight. We'll come in here and go through a little walkthrough and a little practice tomorrow, and then play on Monday.
The way things have gone, does it ever feel like you get into a ball game and it's a must-win at this point on your home floor, and it seems like things are getting away?
I thought so tonight. I thought these 2 games this weekend was must-wins for us because just for our confidence and our psyche, you're never really out of it. And an approach that we're taking, because we had some tough times with injuries and everything, it's a 12-game season. And tonight we started with we 1-0 in that 12-game season. If we can be the best team in the league for these next 12 games, next 11 games now, we 1-0, I think we got a chance, and we just got to keep our mind thinking that.
Can you tell them that it's a must-win, or is that just reserved for you and the staff?
I think they kind of know because they look at the stats, they go on the internet, and these guys understand they don't want to be sitting at home in March. And my statement to them is all the time, if you give a games away in January, February won't matter, and you won't dance in March. So that's been our statement, and they know that.
Well, they have a chance to dance in March still after a victory today. Coach, congratulations, and we'll see you on Monday.
All right, thanks.
Head coach Robert Moore, as we wrap things up from the Lumpkin Center here on this Saturday afternoon, it's a clean sweep for Columbus State. 79-78, Jonathan Norton's bunch ekes out a victory in the final stages over Armstrong in the opening game of the doubleheader, and 89-74 the final in game number 2. The Cougars win it and get themselves to 9-6 on the season and 3-5 in Peach Belt Conference play. We're back on Monday, 1:30 and 3:30. Weekday afternoon games as we celebrate Martin Luther King Day with basketball here in the Lumpkin Center. Flagler College in town, 1:30, 3:30. We'll take the air just around 1:15. So we look forward to seeing you on Monday in person or here on Cougar Sports TV. And with that, we'll wrap things up from the Lumpkin Center. For everyone at Columbus State University and Cougar Sports TV, this is Stephen Williams saying so long on a successful day for the Cougars here from Columbus, Georgia.